Now.
It's live now.
Yep.
Welcome everyone and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the Beaver Creek City Council, April 27th at 6 o'clock or a little after. Before we get down to official business tonight, I have a proclamation for Older Americans Month that I'd like to read that, please. So, whereas each May, Ohio and the nation celebrate Older Americans Month as a time to honor our elders for their legacies and for their contributions to our nation. And whereas the senior adults in Beaver Creek are among our most treasured resources, united by historical experiences, strengthened by diversity, and interpreting events through varied perspective and backgrounds to bring wisdom and insight to our community. And whereas our senior adults have proven to be energetic and involved citizens in our community, taking charge of their health and utilizing the resources to continue an active lifestyle. And whereas our senior adults are valuable members of society to enhance the Beaver Creek community as well as our personal lives. And whereas our senior adults should be recognized and honored, as well as the professionals, family members, and volunteers who care for and work with many of them. Now, therefore, I, Bob Stone, Mayor of the City of Beaver Creek, along with the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2020 as Older Americans Month. And this is in the City of Beaver Creek, and salute and honor all Beaver Creek senior adults for enhancing and contributing to the quality of life in our community. So thank you very much. That said, we will move on to the official business. And we do have an agenda in front of us tonight. First, we're going to go back, though, and do a roll call. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Bales?
Here.
Councilmember Curran?
Here.
Councilmember Garcia?
Here.
Councilmember Schwartz?
Here.
Vice Mayor Adams?
Here.
And Mayor Stone.
Here. And I'd like to turn the meeting over to Councilmember Garcia for the pledge, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'd also just like to take a moment to just kind of address the situation going on in the world today. I found that there is a global prayer movement for healthcare workers fighting against the coronavirus, launched called Care with a Prayer. And it's a campaign launched by the global organization called Momentum. And people of all faith are encouraged to participate. The website is called carewithaprayer.org. And I'd like to read the prayer tonight, if you will, from that website. Dear God, creator of heaven and earth, we ask you from the depths of our hearts and souls to please protect those on the front lines of this war. All of the courageous doctors, nurses, hospital workers, first responders, and law enforcement. Their selfless efforts inspire us to call out to you. I ask you to please bring a swift end to this virus. And when this time passes, may we emerge as a better people, committed to making a better world. May it be soon. Amen. Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have an agenda before us this evening. Are there any changes or corrections anybody wishes?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as submitted. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. We have two sets of minutes to approve tonight. First is March 9th, 2020, regular meeting minutes. Any corrections?
Seeing none, I move to approve regular meeting minutes for March 9th, 2020.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for March 9th as submitted. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next is the approval for the minutes of March 16th work session. Any changes?
Move we
None,
approve,
is it? Go ahead.
move we approve March 16th work session minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for March 16th as submitted. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same. Abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you. And now we move on to ordinance resolutions and PUDs. Before we get into these, this is an unusual circumstance, and we're doing this meeting via Zoom. And so we do have two down toward the items 6D and E are ordinances which will allow for public input. So should you have any input that you might want to get to us this evening, please go ahead and go to YouTube live chat feature and look for ordinance 20-10 and ordinance 20-11. We have a time delay or lag as well, so if you can go to those and make those comments early, it'll be things will go much smoother, so thank you. So first, we will go with resolution 20-08.
This is a resolution giving consent to the director of the Ohio Department of Transportation to proceed with guardrail updates along North Fairfield Road, PID number 111482.
This would be Mr. Thonero, Mayor.
Who's got that one?
Mr. Thonero.
Okay, Mr. Thonero, please.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Happy to be before you this evening. This evening we have a resolution for your consideration. ODOT is planning a project starting in 2021 that includes some upgrades to some guardrails. Mostly they're updating the ends of those guardrails, updating from one style to a newer style. It's likely that this will occur mostly on North Fairfield near 675, and there's also a stretch of guardrail just south of Beaver Creek Church of the Nazarene or Be Hope Church near Pebble Drive and Sunny Creek. We anticipate those are the two areas of work. 100% of the cost is covered by ODOT. There will be no city expense at this point, but the agreement is still required so that ODOT can move forward. Happy to answer any questions you have, but we are recommending approval of this resolution this evening.
Very good. Are there any questions from council this evening?
Move to approve resolution 2008.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-08. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. Next is resolution 20-09.
This is a resolution by the Beaver Creek City Council to enter into an agreement with Beaver Creek Township for the location use of a county communication tower for the public safety communications equipment.
Okay, who's doing this one?
Mayor, it's
Mr. Thonero.
Mr. Thonero, please.
yes, sir. Good evening again. The city of Beaver Creek was in the process of starting our columbarium project out at Mount Zion Park Cemetery. And as part of that project, we were looking at the radio tower that holds our repeater on top of the Mount Zion Park Cemetery building. A lot of the guide wires come down and are located near the area that we're considering the columbarium. And we realized that something had to be done with that as part of that project. When we got to estimates to look at adjusting that, we found that the tower was in significant disrepair and actually would require the entire replacement of that tower. At that time, we looked at all possible solutions and reached out to Beaver Creek Township, and they have a tower down on Station 64, just down from Mount Zion Park Cemetery on Indian Ripple Road. And after discussions with them, they were agreeable to allowing us to co-locate the repeater on their tower. It's, we think, both the most cost-effective and aesthetically pleasing. It removes that tower out of the cemetery, and for a very reasonable price. It's $1 a year lease between the city and the township, so another city-township partnership, certainly that we can tell. Staff is recommending that City Council approve this one, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, sir. Anyone have any comment?
Mayor, if I may for a second, just want to clarify this as part of the cemetery master plan as far as that we had budgeted this year. The rest of the project has been put on hold due to the circumstances that we're going through right now. But the radio tower was not only a thing of safety, but it couldn't even be repaired at this point in time because they won't climb it. It's unsafe. So we felt that it was in the best interest so we don't lose our communication feature for public services, that we move ahead with this at this time.
Thank you very much. Now, any further comment?
I'd just like to say, Mike, thank you for your work there. It's a great partnership, and really, I'd also like to express my thanks to Beaver Creek Township for their generosity. For $1 a year, that's fantastic.
It's great. Congratulations to the staff. Do I hear a motion?
Move to
Motion to
approve
approve.
resolution 20-09.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-09. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. Next is resolution 20-10.
This is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge number 160, covering sergeants and patrol officers.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, is that you?
Chief, yep, Chief, you're up.
All right, good evening, Mayor, Council. The City of Beaver Creek and the members of the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 160 have a contract that expires on December 31st of 2021. Due to the current schedule being utilized in our patrol operations, it is the desire of both parties to adjust the following hour requirements for shift differentials and minimum staffing while the current schedule is being utilized. Right now, the shift differential eligibility is from 1,500 hours to 700, and the memorandum of understanding will move those hours to 1,400 to 600. And then the minimum staffing for safety, which is modified between 2,200 and 600, will be moved to 1,400 or 600 and 1,400. This just is a change, which is no increase in benefits. It is just a change to accommodate the current schedule that we're utilizing in our patrol operations, which has been designed to address peak activity and call demand. So the FOP was in favor of this and actually brought this forward. After looking at it, it made sense to make this adjustment for this particular schedule. So staff is recommending the approval of this resolution.
Thank you. Any further comments?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution 20-10.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-10. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. Next is ordinance 20-05.
Second reading of an ordinance to declare certain city-owned property interests as surplus and to approve the conveyance of a water main system on city-owned property generally known as Overlook Reserve on the south side of Park Overlook Drive.
Thank you. Any further input on this? This was the second reading.
Nothing we're seeing online. I don't see anything, Diane.
No,
No input from the public?
I have received no input.
All right. This ordinance was sponsored by Councilmember Bales. So if there's no further discussion, Councilmember Bales, it's your floor.
Yes, sir. I make a motion to approve ordinance 20-05.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 20-05. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries, thank you. Next is ordinance 20-07.
This is a single reading of an ordinance to approve supplemental appropriations and certify additional revenue for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2020, and to amend ordinances 19-30 and 20-06.
Thank you. Is Mr. Casera?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. This is a quick appropriation ordinance. So if you recall, this light was warranted as part of the new development, the PUD with Dayton Children's Hospital. The original agreement allows us to connect and match all the specifications for our existing traffic light system and provides the light that connects Rock Drive to the existing St. Luke's Church and School. But as part of that agreement, Synergy deposited funds to have that light installed. We took the lead on doing that and setting the specifications and having them build it. They were required to deposit the money, and then we were expending it as the light goes up. And they've already deposited the funds. This is just, it wasn't in the original budget for the deposit and the expenditures. So we're certifying the revenue coming in, the $30,000, and doing the appropriations for the expenditure to get that light up there. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, thank you very much. That's going to make a big improvement, I'm sure. We'll just go down our list. I sent everybody an email earlier today of the order I was going to go. So if anybody's got any input on this ordinance, Vice Mayor Adams, anything? No. Councilmember Bales?
No comment.
Councilmember Curran?
No comment.
Councilmember Garcia?
Yeah, the only thing I'll note is that it may be difficult to remember right now since we're all kind of at stay-at-home orders and traffic is very, very, very light. But this light is definitely necessary, and I do appreciate staff continuing to look into this because once we're up and running again, this light will be critical. So thank you very much.
Absolutely true. Councilmember Schwartz?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we have an ordinance before you. Any further discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 20-07.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 20-07. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is a roll call vote, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you.
Yep.
Roll call, Mayor. May we have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Curran,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Schwartz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Adams,
Yes.
Councilmember Bale,
Yes.
Mayor Stone.
Yes. Motion carries. All right. Next on the agenda, we're moving right along, is council time. So we'll start in the same order again. Vice Mayor Adams, do you have anything you'd like to talk about at council time?
There's not much tonight because I've been quarantined at home for the most part. But according to the governor, I guess we'll start opening up the state gradually over the next several weeks. And I know they've put several stipulations on that. And I just ask that everybody follow those because we want to keep everybody safe and healthy as we move forward into what we could consider a new normal. But on another note, we're still in the middle of the Census 2020. If you've not filled out your census form, either on paper or online, please do so. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Bales.
Thank you, Mayor. As Vice Mayor Adams said, we've been staying at home an awful lot, but I did want to thank the Beaver Creek Parks Department. They've been sending out emails routinely to those who are on their email list, giving them activities to do, kind of a COVID activities guidebook, if you will. And I've found those to be very interesting. My kids have enjoyed them. And if you want to get on that email list, just email them at parks@beavercreekohio.gov, and I'm sure they'll add you to that list. I also want to just thank the citizens for, again, staying home and doing their part during the pandemic. And once the sanctions and so forth are lifted, I want to encourage people to shop locally and just kind of start to rebuild our Beaver Creek economy. I know we'll all get through this together, and I appreciate it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Curran?
Yeah, I just wanted to, again, thank all the citizens of Beaver Creek for their efforts to try to use a mask and social distancing. I see several examples of that every day, Mayor. There's a lady who's been bringing into Barney's free masks, and she lays them on the counter there for people. I've seen, maybe you've seen it, maybe a half a dozen. Really a nice effort to get everybody a mask, certainly with the governor's directions in the future. It's going to be important. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Garcia?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I find it appropriate that May is Older Americans Month because as we go through this crisis together, we're continually reminded that we're staying at home for our older population, as well as those who may be more vulnerable due to a pre-existing condition or illness. So while the governor did release new orders today, I would encourage everyone to go online and take a look at those. He did insist that the stay-at-home order does remain in effect throughout all of this. So throughout the month of May, you just kind of take a look at that and we'll get through this together. I think it's great to see. On another note, Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission continues to work, as I mentioned briefly last week in my update. Our next meeting is going to be on May 7th, so I'll have another update for everyone at our next meeting. But we continue to work and make sure everything goes well in the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schwartz?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to, like I said last week, thank the city and staff. You guys have been doing a tremendous job. I know that days probably get a little bit longer when you're there by yourself, especially Pete over at the city building. So I'm sure he appreciates having some of the essential workers back to keep him company. But I just want to thank the staff. You guys have been doing a tremendous job. And I want to echo what Councilmember Gale said and thank the community for taking proactive measures and following all of the orders. In addition, I too have been staying at home most of the time. But I have virtually joined Kiwanis, so I will be attending their first meeting tomorrow, and I am excited to do so.
Very good. All right. Mayor's report, you know what, there's nothing that I can add to what everybody's already said. I mean, we do need to thank staff. We need to thank the community as a whole for the personal sacrifices they've made to try to get through this pandemic. So all I can add is to just say, please stay safe, stay smart, and stay well. So thank you. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Vice Mayor Adams already spoke about the census, so that is, while we're at home, that is important to continue to follow up with that and make sure everybody gets your census information turned in. Did want to mention we do have a road closure coming Monday, May 4th. On Monday, May 4th, Alpha Bellbrook Road will be closed just to the north of Stauffer Drive to Factory Road. During this closure, the connection between the existing Alpha Bellbrook Road and the new extended portion of Shakertown Road will be constructed. And the existing portion of Alpha Bellbrook Road in this area will be removed. This work is expected to take about 45 days. The police and fire have been updated have been notified for emergencies. A detour for Alpha Bellbrook Road traffic will be posted during this time. And the new extended portion of Shakertown Road will be open to traffic prior to the closing of Alpha Bellbrook Road. So if you have any questions, anyone has any concerns on that, the engineering division will be more able to answer your questions at 427-5513. And lastly, I just wanted to point out what City Hall remains closed as far as all the buildings are, but we are definitely still answering the phones, still returning phone calls. We have learned how to, especially zoning and engineering, have their online permitting that's available to pay for permits and submit things, which is going tremendous. So we're very pleased with that. But I just want the citizens and residents of Beaver Creek to know that we are here just please call us if you have a question or a concern. Like I said, we are here and we're here to still serve the residents of Beaver Creek. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is an executive session. And before I ask for a motion, I do want to remind everybody that we will go dark here on this YouTube channel. This will end this session. There will likely be a decision when we come back after executive session. So you will need to go to the next event from the City of Beaver Creek YouTube channel to catch the follow at the very end of our meeting. So with that said, I would ask for a motion to enter into executive session.
Mr. Mayor, I move to enter into executive session pursuant to section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code for the purpose of consideration of the appointment of a public official.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Councilmember Schwartz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Adams,
Yes.
Councilmember Bales,
Yes.
Councilmember Curran,
Yes.
Mayor Stone.
Yes. We are in executive session. Thank you.